That'd be bad. That was bad. Good. That was bad. We don't want that. That'd be bad. That'd be bad and good. That's bad and good. That's good. This other thing right here, this is good. But that other thing, that was bad. Good. It was bad and good.
Hey, 4-name girl, what's up? How is it going? I got my mind on my dabbies, and my dabbies are gonna try to be on my mind. Lisa, hello. Brap, hello. Nick, hello. How's it going, everybody? Nick, glad you can make it, buddy. Hell yeah. Nick, everybody. Nick is here. So, my Beazle, he's out there, and he's quite a distance. In fact, he's so far away I can't get the camera into a position where I can keep my eye on him and the show at the same time. So, till the 29th, oh my God, that's terrible. I'll be sitting here doing this sporadically, periodically, until he moves, gets into a position where I can put the camera on him. Because he moved over. I just want to be comfortable, man, because he hurt his toe a week ago, and we clipped the nail off last weekend. And it's fine, but he's licking it every once in a while and just making sure he's not licking it. And yeah, every few minutes I'm just going to look over there. You love Rolling Stone, Brad. She's going, okay, he's suffering 94. It's terrible. It's so old. Water pump and crankshaft seal on 4Runner done. Right on, Brad. That feels good, huh? Hell yeah, buddy. So, you guys, I'm celebrating the demise of the Disinformation Bureau. It was such a horrible idea. And, the Ministry of Truth, it died. It's gone. It's not coming back, hopefully. Just for asking the question, you're blocked, dude. Just for asking the question. And I remember you were here a long time ago. I can't believe you would come into my live stream and ask such a stupid question. And now you're blocked, and you're not welcome here. I don't like you as a human being, and anybody that would come in and say what you just said, you deserve a block. That's it. You deserve a block from my live stream. While the rest of us sit here, smoke, have fun, have camaraderie and friendship, you can sit on the sidelines with the dunce cap on. Okay? Because no matter what you meant, no matter what you were trying to say, it doesn't really matter. That sort of sentiment is not acceptable here. And if I could have had somebody slap you, I would have asked them to do so. All right, so what was I saying? Was I going to do a dabby dab? I'm going to dab. I was thinking about doing a dabby. You guys want a dab? I'm thinking about doing a dabby dab. That's what's going on right here. Let's just try to move this camera a little bit. There we go. There we go. That's fun. That's fun. We don't need this. These do not represent fun. We're going to get rid of those. These, not fun. We'll get rid of that too. Even though there's a little dabber in there, it's kind of fun. The rest, this is all fun. This represents fun times. I want to display fun. Fun times for all. Okay? That's what's up. Old school, nay, boot that fucker, I love it. Hey, that's not old school, bro. I never allow racism in here. I don't even allow you insinuating that I would allow racism in here. That's not old school, bro. Nothing's changed. It's the same old, brother. Okay, he's getting up, and he's on the move. Okay, give me a second. I might be able to corral my Beazle. Good boy.
Ben?
Yeah?
She sent you the information about the brownies.
Thank you.
Fiordelli's brownie mix from Costco Republic.
What's the chocolate?
Fiordelli's.
the chocolate bar comes with it, or?
I don't know. Just any kind of chocolate bar you want to put in there, yeah. Oh,
That is good. Okay, Hirogi is back in the house. He wanted to come in, so I let him in. So this is great, man. Everything is great. I'm going to back you guys up so you can see everything. Back the fuck up. Back the fuck up. Back the fuck up here.
Sometimes put mini patties in it.
Huh.
Mini chocolate patties.
Huh.
Mint chocolate patties.
Yeah. Okay, I see why I did that, because of the sun. Okay, I moved this. I got the sun coming down on the keyboard, but I think I can live with that. In fact, I'm just going to wipe my screen off here with this microfiber, and I think that's even going to make it better for me. Yeah, that's good, man. That's so the dust isn't reflecting the sunlight. Great, man. So what? I can't miss another show. Great to see you. Great to see you too, Doc Hollandaisy. Hey, Nay, how you been? How's your mom? Cheers, my friend. Hope you have a wonderful afternoon. Troy Corbin, thank you. I need fun times. Well, I understand, and that's why I'm here. Okay, and we're going to talk about the dismemberment of the ministry of truth while we get high. And let's let Jimmy Dore do it for us, okay? I've got a Jimmy Dore video ready to go here. I'll go, one guy got booted and blocked every show. You don't take crap from no one. One guy got booted and blocked every show. Yeah, I will do that. And it does happen almost every show. Somebody does get blocked. And I know a lot of these are different people. Some of them are the same person under different account names. But it's so funny how many podcasters I watch that don't block people. They don't have the problem, and I guess maybe I see nasty comments and things in their chat and they just ignore it, whatever. But if you ignore it, the comments keep coming. They keep coming, and I read every comment, and I'm really not interested in exposing myself to some moron out there, that's putting out racist rhetoric. I don't like that. I don't like that flavor. So, I'm looking for a dab. I said I was going to do a dab, didn't I? And I'm switching up because I was smoking Iceman stuff, and I'm going to go back to Pinoy. Pinoy, my boy Pinoy. Shut up, yo. You're very good, Pinoy. You're very good, yo. You're very good. Okay, that's it. That's what's up. C3PO. Oh, I got to put some gas in my torch today. I gotta put some butane in here. Okay, let's do it. That's why you are cool as fuck, man. Thank you, Mike Elliott. That's very nice of you. I do enjoy talking to you guys. I do have that low viewership that allows me the luxury of talking to all of you, It is one nice thing about having a low viewership is I can give every single one of you the attention you deserve. And I like that, I'd go to a podcast if I was getting attention. I would love that. So, Blackberry Gelto? Blackberry Gelto. I love it when people get the words wrong when they're trying to be all fancy. Blackberry Gelto shatter. Okay, you enjoy that Gelto, Tina. She's like, damn you, Nay. All right, so here, let's do this. Let's see how well this torch works now. I was in the bar the other night, and this big, bald dude wearing leather sat next to me. He had tattoos on his face, on his neck. And he looked kind of rough, you know. He looked like he just gotten out of prison. And he sat next to me at the bar, and he looked at me. He looked over at me. He has like a mean look to him, you know. And he looked at me, and I went, "Hey, what's up, man?" Like that. I gave him a smile, and he went, "Hey." And it turns out that guy was the singer from the Dude Band. I had no idea. And they were so great, you know? And I had no idea when that guy was next to me at the bar who he was. And I could tell he was really enjoying the fact that he was kind of anonymous in there, you know, at first. Not anybody knew who he was until he got up on stage. Well, I shouldn't say not anybody. There's a lot of people in there who knew who he was, but there were some people like me who didn't. And I think he enjoyed that anonymity, you know, with me. He's like, this guy has no idea I'm about to go get on that stage and kick his ass. You know, he has no idea. Operator problems. Okay. Blackberry gelato sounds fire, though. To be honest, Blackberry Kush, one of my all-time faves, and gelato is good to go to. Magic Freeman, Brap. That's one thing that sets you apart from Rogan's podcast. You don't get the personal interaction. That's one thing. I hope it's more than one thing. Hey, another thing is I don't have liars on here and sit here and nod along while they lie at you. That's kind of good, too, isn't it? I don't let people come on my show and lie to my audience. And I'm going to show you Jimmy Dore right now. And if I catch things that they're saying and I don't like them, man, I stop and I correct that shit. I call people on their bullshit. You're not ever, I mean, very rare that Joe Rogan does that when he really should. He kind of just does it when it's obvious, like, you know, Candace Owens denying climate change. Well, we all know that that's bullshit. That was an easy one. That was very low-hanging fruit, you know. But, you know, Dr. Robert Malone or any of these anti-vax motherfuckers or whatever, and yeah, it's mum from him for the most part. Or the UFO guys. That's the one that drives me crazy. Jeremy Corbell, you guys ready for it? Are you guys ready for it? Okay, everybody join me. In 3, 2, 1. You knew it was true because Jeremy Corbell said splash, splash, splash. You knew it was coming, man. You cannot mention that man without going splash, splash, splash. Not on this show. And from now on, if anybody ever says Jeremy Corbell's, I think that's his name, Jeremy Corbell, in the chat, you have to follow it with 3 splashes. Splash, splash, splash. Oh, cheers. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one right there, guys. That's a good dab. I love this tray. Oh my God. Best thing. You guys might already have a tray like this, like a TV dinner tray or something that you could use, you know? You got a set of 4 of them. Now you could have a set of 3 and a tray for your dabs. No nodders. Nope. Not going to happen here. Let's hear what Jimmy Dore has to say about the Disinformation Board closing, okay? This should be good.
Gentlemen, he's an award-winning journalist, as well as the editor-in-chief and founder of the independent investigative news website, The Gray Zone. He's also a best-selling author of several books, including Goliath, The 51-Day War, and the Management of Savagery. Please welcome to the show, Max Blumenthal. Hi, Max. How are you?
Hey, Jimmy. I'm good.
Good to see you. Now, I don't know if you heard the big news, Max, but I bet you did. The U.S. Disinformation Governance Board, which really was just there to approve disinformation.
Let me know if you can hear that. Okay,
and this was the head of it. Nina Jankowicz, she's gone, and now she resigned. So that's and they're pausing the Disinformation Governance Board. So that's the lead. I don't want to bury it, but I want to show you how this was reported today. Now, a lot of people were complaining about that. I'm a left of the Democratic Party, way left of the Democratic Party. I was complaining about it. Max Blumenthal's left of the Democratic Party at the Gray Zone. They were all complaining about it. There are lots of lefties complaining about it. Glenn Greenwald is a lefty complaining about it. I don't know what he would call himself, Glenn Greenwald. He certainly is a jerk.
We love Glenn Greenwald. You can hear it great.
I'm sure.
Okay, good.
I'm just going to guess all the good people were complaining
Megadeth
about
concert
it.
a few years ago.
But they want to make it seem like it was
sat in
just
the
right
seat behind
wingers.
me and
This is
started
Taylor
giving
Lorenz.
out picks, man.
Remember
He's down
Taylor
to earth,
Lorenz,
dude.
right?
Dave
Her
Mustaine.
job is to
Right on, Mike
pretend
Elliott.
That
I had a
she
cardiac
does
arrest, been
journalism.
recovering.
And
You're
so
looking
what
at
she
David
does
Honey.
is,
Dude,
she targets people.
I'm so glad I scrolled up to read the chat, man. I almost missed that. David Honey Sr., I was wondering what happened to you. You had a heart attack, bro. Oh, my God. I was like, whatever happened to this guy? You were all over social media, and then boom, you disappeared. And I'm like, do I have him blocked? I was like, did I block you again or something and forget about it? I blocked you so many times, you know? We really went through that whole thing. And now you just disappeared, and come to find out you had a heart attack. Well, I hope you're taking good care of yourself and you're getting better, David. And thank you for coming in here and telling me that this happened to you. And I hope that my show helps you recuperate. For sure, bro. Yeah, welcome back, man. I'm glad you're alive.
Money and power normally, and tries to humiliate them, like she just did with the lady from has that account Libs of TikTok, and she doxed her. And so that's who Taylor Lorenz is. We know who Taylor Lorenz is. We've covered her before.
Taylor Lorenz is a piece of shit.
So she says, scoop, just 3 weeks after its announcement, the Disinformation Governance Board is being paused. By the way, did you see this? On her Twitter, it says, my personality is better on Instagram.
My personality?
That's because on Instagram, I put on makeup and say bullshit.
Leonardo da Vinci seems to have encrypted the Great Pyramid of Giza into the Vitruvian.
What?
So,
you guys, look, don't follow for that ancient aliens fucking bullshit. That shit that just popped up. Don't fall for that shit. Watch legitimate documentaries, okay? Don't go to that channel, whatever the fuck that shit is. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit.
Here she is. She says they paused it. They paused the Disinformation Governance Board and intra-department DHS working groups focused on disinformation have been suspended.
Great.
Nina Jankowicz is considering leaving. No, she actually didn't. Right? Nina Jankowicz has officially resigned from the Disinformation Governance Board. That sounds like it's
have a nice go fuck yourself.
Right? The Disinformation Governance Board. They did not workshop that name. I'll tell you, they didn't focus group that name.
He got back in his chair? Yeah. It's so funny. I'm surprised he didn't run. He's got a full thing of food that he probably forgot.
But there it is. The dream is dead. We'll never find another censorship jar who can sing like that. That's all I'm saying. We're never going to find...
That's pretty funny.
We lost Nina.
Dude, now, in my mind, he's told the whole story. Okay? The information board's demised. The two women who supported it the most on the internet are disengaged from it. They're called out for exactly what they are. It's been a complete win for all of humanity and for our sanity. Yet, how the hell does Jimmy Dore still have 34 minutes worth of video after this 3 minutes and 15 seconds is beyond me. I haven't seen this. I can't imagine what they're going to get into for more than a half hour after they've already disclosed everything. So let's see.
Reds of clucking
Let's
heads
smoke.
under 50 years old. We lost Nina.
Do a little bong rip. Well, a big bong rip in the little bong, I should say.
Good riddance. It wasn't the so, and then they want to blame it on the far right. And KC10 Driver says, "Good riddance. It wasn't the far right that stopped this. It was."
And let me know in the chat if your favorite way of watching Jimmy Dore is when you're getting high with me watching it together on this show. I want to hear from you guys in the chat if you like doing this.
Sensible people from all sides who objected to an Orwellian government apparatus. Max, were you?
Dave, you died. You say cardiac arrest like it's not a heart attack. I died and came back. My wife and daughter gave me CPR until the ambulance came, and I was on life support for 3 days. It was electrical, not the plumbing. So that's electrical. So a cardiac arrest and a heart attack are two different things. Is that what you're telling me? I didn't know that. You're all right. That's so great. We're wondering where you went. Sup, gang? Big lol on a big little one. Lol, a big and little one. Hey, Merc. Yep, I like it. Cannabis heals. Yeah, that's my favorite way, man. Howdy, Eric Brian Westman. Yeah, because this way, if you guys have something to say about this and you'd like your words on the internet about it, well, then it's happening right here. It can happen on Jimmy Dore's live show too, but it just scrolls by with 10,000 other chats every second. So you kind of get lost in that blur of people. But here, if you got something to say about this, here's the place, man, to really get your opinion up there. And I'll read it. Yeah, David Honey Sr., I'm so glad that you're okay. Heart attack, a blockage. I can understand these videos much more with your commentary. Oh, thank you.
That they shut down so quickly. I'm going to get to the article. We're going to get to how crazy this article is, because it is insane. This is in the Washington Post. And at no point did they talk about this was a bad idea. At no point did they talk about why this is a bad idea.
Right.
Or any concerns about the government overreach and censorship. It was all about the newspaper was defending the government from rando attacks online. I'm not kidding.
Do you understand what he just said? So there was a Ministry of Truth they started. There was a massive outcry from all of America, from both sides, from all sides, from every human being, right? They disassembled it, and the article in the paper doesn't mention the fact that, oh, by the way, that was a bad idea, and the fact that all of these millions of people agreed it was a bad idea probably should have led you to talk about it in the article, and you just disregard that whole aspect of this subject is psychotic. Think about it. Think about what Jimmy Dore just said. Wow.
So, Max, were you surprised that they got rid of this so quickly, this disinformation government?
I was pleased. I was pleased and surprised.
Somewhat wasn't surprised because
I'm
my
surprised.
thinking was, actually under Trump, there was a version of a disinformation governance board under this character, Christopher Krebs. And he was the kind of person you would expect to lead this. He wore a suit or khakis, was
We lost our
national security bureaucrat. And then you bring in weird Nina Yankovic. No offense to Weird Al. just a complete freak of just an absolute freak and a flamboyant
Mike Elliott, thank you, buddy. I love you. Thank you.
Who does child nursery rhymes on methamphetamine.
You've lost 65 pounds. You work out every day. You put a gym in your house, 50 pounds more to go. Bro, I support you 100%. Man, I've lost a little weight myself, bro, and I'm really proud of you. It's good. I've been working on it. Not today, though. I had chocolate chip cookies and a brownie.
It's about disinformation and Russian propaganda. You bring her in there, and she just becomes the perfect target. And obviously, there was pressure on the Biden administration from the camp that she represents within the Democratic Party's infrastructure to create this kind of office for her. And there were, I'm sure, think tanks behind it, kind of think tanks we associate with censorship on social media, like the Atlantic Council. And people like Taylor Lorenz seem to have been involved in this network.
That's scary.
Which is why she's griping
That's
about
scary.
the end of this board. But what I think
they're all in on
happened was Mayorkas, Alexandria Mayorkas, the DHS secretary, was grilled by Rand Paul and other senators and admitted that he didn't know what a complete nut job Nina Jankowicz was, or how embarrassing this fiasco had become ahead of the midterms. And what I think they're going to do is do something more sub rosa, below the radar.
I would kind of like to see what Rand Paul said about it. I saw a little bit of the questioning, but I wonder if he ran any of that Jankowicz videotape of her singing like Mary Poppins. You know? Just a spoonful of government control helps the narrative go down, the narrative go down, the narrative go down. Just a spoonful of government control helps the narrative go down in the most controlling and imperialistic way. You guys like that? I do that shit all day.
With another character like Christopher Krebs, who's just a grim,
cheers. Watch the smoke fill the chamber as I ignite the cannabis
instead
flower.
of a flamboyant wannabe Broadway singer.
True black
so I'm
on
not
top of
actually
OG Kush.
surprised. What I would say though is I'm very pleased because contrary to, and we'll talk about Taylor Lorenz's article, but contrary to her framing of this being a right-wing campaign, this was actually a right-left campaign.
Yes.
That involved, including civil libertarians as well.
Like I said, everybody.
The ACLU,
all of
which
us.
has been terrible over the past few
It was an
years,
attack on all of our speech.
Condemned this board as an attack on civil liberties. And so this is what we need, is we need a cross-partisan or non-partisan alliance against online censorship by people who seek to control.
I don't like Max Blumenthal, but he's 100% right now. He's making sense. This is why I listen to people I dislike.
Reality and shield out any information or facts or journalism that contravenes the objectives of a discredited establishment. And that's what happened here. So everybody who would participated in this campaign should give themselves a hand, left and right.
We did it. But
we spoke out against it on this show for 20 people every day.
Honest, there are a few articles that, it's hard to shock me anymore, but it happened. This article is
we're here celebrating
the
it, man.
Unbelievable defense of the powerful that I've ever seen in my life.
We all screamed bloody murder.
They're doing it like they're protecting a rape victim, instead of what they're doing is, instead of who they are protecting, is a very, very powerful person who wanted to censor people and is a history of pushing misinformation. There it is, how the Biden administration let right-wing attacks derail its disinformation efforts. And I just want to go back, it wasn't the far right that stopped this, it was sensible people from all sides who objected to an Orwellian government apparatus. Now,
Mom, is that Moon River?
Yes.
All right.
I just want to say, this is disinformation. The irony here is that this should be labeled misinformation if you're going to do that sort of thing. I don't want it.
It's wider than
so I'm against that. But if you're going to be consistent, this is exactly why you can't have a disinformation governance board, because they're always lying. And no one will ever agree on what is real or true or disinformation or not.
He said it so well right there. What Jimmy Dore just said in the last 10, 15 seconds was worded perfectly. And it's exactly correct. And everyone here, I hope you all heard what he just said. It affects all of us, man. And it was a bad idea. It's a horrible idea. And it's obvious as to why. They have lied to us. They've lied. They don't get to tell us what's the truth and what's not. All they get to do is tell us what they think is true, and we get to decide for ourselves. And when that changes, man, we've lost our First Amendment.
Because this is disinformation. It wasn't right-wingers, it was everybody. Left, center, libertarian, far right, far left, everybody was against this.
What time in the video was that? 8 minutes, guys. 8 minutes into that video. It's really worth listening to. He makes such great sense right there.
Here's Vince Coglianese says, this entire piece, meaning this article, is a slobbering defense of power. And by the way, that was my name for my punk band in high school, Slobbering Defense of Power.
That's good.
Not a moment of concern about the way government bodies are used as a predicate for censorship. Well said. I don't write that well. Not a single mention of Jakowitz's long record of credulously pushing blue anon conspiracy theories. Huh. None of that. That's right. Correct. None of that was in this article. None of that.
Well, she wrote a book called.
And there shouldn't be a Ministry of Truth, but that's the person who you decide's going to run it. It's like psychosis on top of psychosis. Psychosis that you would even think there should be a Ministry of Truth. And then on top of that, more psychosis in putting some idiot like her in charge of it. Crazy on crazy. It's like a crazy double-decker sandwich.
How to win the information war. And that's like step one, not mention.
Yeah.
Not bring up that part.
Don't bring it up.
I think it was actually, I called How to Lose the Information War.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
She was going to come in and tell people how to win, and now she lost. So this is from the article from the Washington Post. Taylor Lorenz, maniac, professional victim, gaslighter, and two of the oligarchs, Taylor Lorenz, wrote this.
Well said.
Just 3 weeks after its announcement, the Disinformation Governance Board is being paused, according to multiple employees, blah, blah. On Monday, DHS decided to shut down the board, according to multiple people. By Tuesday morning, Jakowitz had drafted a resignation letter in response to the board's dissolution. I like how they say paused. They paused it, right? Just to leave some hope for the world's biggest pieces of shit out there. That's what that is.
Well said.
Okay.
We might still have censorship, right? Eventually.
Eventually, we might still have it. We're just pausing it now. So don't get too But Tuesday night, Jakowitz was pulled into an urgent call with DHS officials who gave her the choice to stay on, even as the department work is put on hold because of a backlash that it faced, according to multiple people with knowledge of it. Wow. The one weapon they couldn't defend against, a backlash. Working groups within the DHS focused.
And let me just take 1 second here to thank George Orwell for writing the book 1984 and warning each and every one of us ahead of time that this was coming and to be prepared for it and to scream as loud as we could against it. It wasn't enough. We didn't do enough, but it was enough to make them stop. But in my opinion, we all should have been out in the street protesting this. But I just want to say thank you to George Orwell because he warned all of humanity with that book. Do you understand the importance of things like books and why people like Governor Ron DeSantis shouldn't have the right to ban any book from anywhere at all? Especially someone like Governor Ron DeSantis.
Dis and malinformation have been suspended.
I've never heard that one before.
I didn't. Do you get the feeling that the book 1984 is Taylor Lorenz's Star Trek? Do you get that feeling?
Shouts out George Orwell, 1984. Dude, I have not watched this yet. Right on, brother.
It's an optimistic view of a future utopia, right? Can you imagine if Big Brother let a little backlash stop him from creating the Ministry of Truth? He'd lose his iron grip on Oceania.
Dude, these are all 1984 references.
No, Big Brother was too effective, and he didn't cry when he accidentally succeeded.
Patriarchy.
Cheers.
On Wednesday
Cheers,
morning,
George
Jakowitz
Orwell.
officially resigned from her role within the department. Nina Jakowitz has been subjected to unjustified and vile personal attacks and physical threats, a DHS spokesperson told the Post in a statement in between putting kids in cages. Right.
Wow. This is like what Coolio did to Weird Al when he made Amish Paradise.
Jankowicz's experience is a prime example. This is real. This is real. Jankowicz's experience is a prime example of how the right-wing internet apparatus operates, where far-right influencers attempt to identify a target, present a narrative, and then repeat mischaracterizations across social media and websites with the aim of discrediting and attacking anyone who seeks to challenge them. Oh my God, it sounds like the playbook from the establishment media, right, Max?
Sounds like projection to me.
That's exactly what they do. And you know how I know that's what they do? Because they did
What, Mom?
that to me when I was doing Force the Vote.
I never knew how some guys could build muscle and avoid that beer belly.
Within the month, I could really see how much of my belly that I lost.
It's called no.
I challenged.
It's called you have to work really hard and experience pain. That's what all those guys are doing. Trust me. It hurts, guys. Looking beautiful like me. If you want to look perfect and beautiful like me, I'm in pain every time I do it. I'm not getting any. I feel like I'm not getting anywhere.
And so they had to discredit me.
There's no magic
They wrote
pill.
column article after article. Jimmy Dore's the head of the dirtbag left. Jimmy Dore's alt-right. Jimmy Dore's this. Jimmy Dore's that. That's what they do. That's what they do. The Washington Post themselves smeared me.
Thank you, Mike. 13
That's
minutes
what
still.
they had to discredit me because
Cheers,
I was challenging
Mike
the
Tina.
Democratic Party. And so they did this to me. That's not what some fucking nefarious far-right group that she can't identify does. That's what the Washington Post does. That's what Taylor Lorenz does. This is called projection. And this is why I study Carl Jung. Because he invented that idea of you project your worst attributes of yourself onto other people. That's what this is. You know, and she's writing this. She says it also shows what happens when it's. By the way, what she's really pissed off is she's pissed off that the right wingers are doing this when it's really her job. That's her job. That's what she does. And what do you think she says it also shows what happens when institutions, when confronted with these attacks, don't respond effectively. What does that mean? You think
Lock them up.
She means they don't respond effectively by censoring enough? Is that what that means? I don't know what that means exactly.
Look how it says mischaracterizations. The actual group, they didn't characterize them. Like, they asked them directly what exactly you're going to be doing, and they never gave a straight answer. Like, you could have cleared all that up if it was mischaracterization real easily.
Oh, so what? Yeah, so she's saying that they're mischaracterizing. And what Kurt's saying is, why didn't the DHS just say what they were doing? They could never give a straight answer to what the hell their job was. So
They
if
want
you're going
the
to say
freedom to
other people
just
are
willy-nilly
mischaracterizing them
silence
across,
people.
that's not what's that. It was their own.
They
fault.
don't want to
It
be
wasn't
explicit.
characterized in the first
That's
place.
right. You have to first characterize something for it to be mischaracterized.
No, they just
Okay.
want to shut everybody down.
Just hours after Jakowicz tweeted about her new job, this is a real story in a real newspaper. So this person, a powerful person inside government wanting to censor you at the Department of Homeland Security, which puts kids in cages, there, just after that person at that institution inside government tweeted about her new job, far-right influencer Jack Prosobiec posted tweets accusing the Biden administration of creating a ministry of truth. Prosobiec's 1.7 million followers, they quickly sprung into
Far-right influencer. Like, I was influenced by a far-right guy.
By the way, how many millions of followers does the Washington Post have?
And let me just say, they've got some nerve for trying to say that this is a right-wing idea. It's not. It's a human idea to have freedom of speech. It's humanity. Everybody wants to have a voice. That's what the First Amendment protects. That's all this is about. And for the Washington Post to sit there and try to say this is a right-wing movement is hilarious. It's like Jimmy said, it goes way beyond party affiliation.
Right? How many, because they fucking smeared me in an article. How many millions of people subscribe to the Washington Post? Why are you guys pretending like this isn't what you do for a living?
Right?
And it's true that me and everyone I know, we were absolutely fine with Nina Jankowicz, that demented theater kid
No, we weren't.
with a history of spreading
He's joking.
disinformation. We were all okay with her being in charge of policing disinformation. That wasn't until this asshole Posobiec tweeted
Right.
something about it,
Ex-
and that woke us all up.
Exactly. That is exactly what I just said. So, exactly.
By the end of the day, there were at least 53,000 posts on Twitter mentioning Disinformation Governance Board. Yet that's how Twitter works. There's billions of people on it. This happens every day. That's called a trending topic. And something inside the government trending is a good idea. That's a good thing that people are aware of what's happening in the government. But to Taylor Lorenz, this is
And the Washington Post.
of a nefarious right-wing conspiracy that people are talking about a new government body inside our government. That's bad. People are talking
It's
about
so
the
obviously
Disinformation
written.
Governance Board on Twitter, and that's harassment. That's literal violence.
From that perspective, you know.
In the days following, that number skyrocketed.
Word got out.
Word got out. Posobiec's early tweets shaped the narrative, and Jankowicz was positioned as the primary target. Republican lawmakers echoed Posobiec's framing and amplified it to their audiences. Why are you
representatives speaking?
They're talking about a thing happening in the government to people online. U.S. Senate hopeful and Missouri Attorney General Eric Schmidt and Representative Andrew S.
I just want everyone to see this chat from Charleston H. This is the same person, I believe, that came in before. They asked the same question. It's got to be the same person. There's a bird right there. Wow. He's in the shade because his mouth's open. It's a crow. It's a giant, beautiful black crow. Look at him. Dude, there's water everywhere, bro. Why are you so hot? Go drink some water. It's not that hot outside, is it? He's cute, man. He keeps looking like he's going to take off any second. He keeps fluttering his wings. He's just chilling. He's looking around. He's like, this is a pretty place. He's just looking around. He's looking at everything. I think he likes it here. Look at him looking around. Do you guys see this fucking bird? He's all just like, I like this hut. This is cool, man. A fucking crow. With his mouth wide open. Dude, are you overheated, bro? Is it hot outside? Check him out, bro. He's looking all around. He's looking at the swing. He's looking at the plant. He's looking at the plants around here. Is he looking for a lizard to eat or something? He's looking for a lizard, bro. They're everywhere. Up. Looking down on the ground. I think he saw something. No, he's looking down on the ground. I think he sees something down there. Up there he goes. Boom, he's on the ground. Alright, he's there. He's pecking around. He's looking around. I can't see him because, okay. He doesn't have anything in his mouth. His mouth's still wide open. Nope. There he goes, flying, he's flying away, he's flying up in that tree right there. He's flying, he's flying, he's flying, he's flying, he's flying, and he's just outside my purview. He's up, 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 up. He was in my purview again, then he went outside my purview again. That's what just happened. I just gave you the Crow report with Nays Garden. That was the Crow report with Nays Garden. Back to Jimmy Dore. JD. Jimmy Jams.
Georgia.
Oh, by the way,
similar tweets to post-Soviet.
Jimmy Dore is now the proud owner of 64 ounces of triage oil. 64 ounces. Bam.
Former Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard also posted a video repeating Posobiec's statements. Is that how you say his name? I have to say it a million times. I'd like to get it right once.
Every day.
I think so.
Because he's a troll bitch.
Oh
brat.
my God. It sounds like basically Taylor Lorenz and the Washington Post are upset that democracy worked. Because that sounds like democracy. People speaking and their representatives speaking to them, and we're all conversing and coming to an understanding about something. The week following the announcement, approximately 70% of Fox News' 1 hour segments, can you show the...
You love your stuff because your stuff is amazing. But what if bad stuff happens to...
No shit, right?
The week following the announcement,
well said. That commercial was well stated.
1 hour segments mentioned either Jankowicz or the board. Mentioned. You mean a news show is going to mention this unbelievable Orwellian frickin' Ministry of Truth that just got laid on us with no explanation of what they're really going to be doing? And they're talking about it on a news show? They're mentioning it. That's supposed to be bad.
She's making it seem like they spent 70% of their time talking about it.
Right, that's not what happened.
When nearly 70% of their 1 hour segments maybe mentioned it once.
That's right.
Because it was a running story, which would be a whole lot less than Chris Christie and Bridgegate on MSNBC. Remember
right?
that?
Yes, I remember that. That was constant. That was 99%. I was glued to that coverage, I'll be honest.
He shut down the bridge for an hour.
So much belly fat.
But listen to this. This is also in the Washington Post. The Fox News coverage was referenced in some of the most popular posts on Facebook and Twitter criticizing Jankowicz. Oh my God! People are talking about a thing. That's all this is. People are talking about a thing that the government's doing. And Fox News is talking about it. And then when people talk about it, they reference Fox News talking about it. How do we stop people talking about a thing? This is amazing. This is in the Washington Post. Dozens of websites, including Breitbart, the Post Millennial, the Daily Caller, and the New York Post, began mining Jankowicz's past social media posts and publishing articles to generate controversy. You mean they started doing reporting? You mean they started looking into the person who was the head of this new agency?
They start doing their job.
The government, instead of being derelict in their duty and going and looking at TikTok videos? You mean they were actually doing fucking journalism? And that upsets Taylor Lorenz and the Washington Post.
Because she doesn't do her
Jeff
job,
Bezos,
and they do.
In bed with the CIA.
They did it to generate controversy, Jimmy.
They did it just to generate...
These bastards are just out there generating. Everything would be fine.
Happy 420, everybody.
She sounds like Spiro Agnew. I don't know that. You guys might be too young for that reference, but
the nattering nabobs of negativism, right?
That's right. That's what he said. What the news was, and now she said,
"She's Dr. Smith from Lost in Space." You nattering nabobs.
So they, some of the people were simply mocking us, making fun of her for parodying a song from Mary Poppins to talk about misinformation. So they were mining her past. My God, people do that. So you're saying
didn't Taylor Lorenz mine someone's like personal information and her name recently? Like,
yes, that's exactly what Taylor Lorenz docked somebody. Went to their relatives' homes to try to get him to say things about her. She was harassing everybody to do with somebody who had a TikTok account.
Right. And
so what Taylor Lorenz is saying is that they gave Nina Jankowicz the old Taylor Lorenz treatment. Right? Oh, wait, they didn't try to destroy her children's lives, so I guess it's not the full Taylor Lorenz treatment. Wow. Because that's what Taylor Lorenz does.
I was wondering what he was going to talk about for another half hour.
This is amazing. In another instance, a performance where Jankowicz sings a popular musical theater song like a fucking maniac about a person's desire to become rich and powerful. No, the song I saw was her singing a song
Spoonful of
about
Sugar.
wanting to censor people
Yeah.
for disinformation. To the tune of supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Oh, right.
I didn't see the other one.
Supercalifragilistic.
Yeah, it looked like some karaoke thing.
Okay.
Why would you pick that song?
They said it was misrepresented, Kurt, that when her desire to be that song, that was misrepresented to imply that Jankowicz herself was after money and power and would sleep with men to get it. I mean, that doesn't misrepresent her as much as her singing that song did. How about that? All right. Go ahead.
Whose criticism was that? Like, I heard she sleeps with men for money and power. No one.
Who said it? Right? That is a good question. Who said that?
They just pick up randos, right? So one person with no followers on Twitter said
Someone
something.
said it on Twitter,
they
right?
pretend like someone said that, and it's important to pay attention to. That's what Taylor Lorenz is doing right here. So here's
I mean, it's just a crazy video. I don't know if you've seen it.
No, I didn't
see it.
I saw that.
It just underlines the correct portrayal of her as kind of an unhinged whack job. I wasn't really paying much attention to the content of it.
Well,
did you say, I'm sorry, before that the job maybe was kind of built around Nina Jankowicz? Like they were like, you need to make this new thing and put this new like, did you say that anyway, or did I misunderstand?
You're asking Max that, right?
Well, Nina Jankowicz, when she announced her position, she stated pretty clearly, if I remember right on Twitter, that she had been working with the DHS to design this position in this board.
Oh, right.
Okay, there you go.
So this board is Nina.
Yeah. Here's the next paragraph I want to share with you. It says, experts in disinformation? What kind of experts say that right-wing disinformation? They just say experts. They don't tell you who these just experts. Experts in disinformation. You know who those people are? They're people like Taylor Lorenz. They're people like Bellingcat. People who just give themselves a fucking title. I'm an expert in disinformation.
Yeah, it doesn't even link to anybody there.
No, doesn't. Experts say that right-wing disinformation and smear campaigns regularly follow the same playbook. The one that Taylor Lorenz and the Washington Post use on a regular basis.
There's one playbook for it.
You want to hear?
Here comes the playbook. The playbook is, and that it's crucial.
Bro, they're covering. I'm commenting on what he's saying. They're covering exactly what I want to talk about. The demise of this ministry of truth, man. That's what they're talking about. I know they talk about it for a while, but it's exactly what I want to hear.
Oh, this is what she's writing. She says it is crucial that public and leaders of institutions, especially in the government, the media, and educational bodies, understand more fully how these cycles operate. It's crucial that people understand how these Twitter things work, because I'm getting my feelings hurt on Twitter. This is real. I got some good news, Taylor. The government definitely knows how the cycle of misinformation works. You fucking genius. Go ahead, Max.
If you go down a few paragraphs from the mention of experts, I think you can find the expert that she's referring to, and it's Emerson T. Brooking, a resident senior fellow at the Atlantic Council's Digital Forensic Research Lab. So we all know what the Atlantic Council is. It is NATO's unofficial think tank in Washington, or official, semi-official think tank in Washington, funded by everyone from NATO to the U.S. State Department, to Raytheon, to the Turkish and Saudi governments, Saudi Aramco, Burisma, which gave Joe Biden's son a lucrative contract, was also a major donor to the Atlantic Council, buying influence in Washington. And this is the expert. So it is essentially a cutout of the government and the intelligence services and all of these U.S. vassal states. It is the government. And Nina Jankowicz has been involved in several U.S. intelligence cutouts that push regime change and anti-democratic campaigns. I can talk about it in a minute, around the world within Western supposed democracies.
Well, let's get to more of this article because it's crazy. Honest, this is the most insane article I've ever seen. She's writing in defense of the Department of Homeland Security head of censorship.
It's crazy.
By discrediting those made to represent institutions, they seek to bring down. They discredit the institution itself. Harassment and reputational harm is core to the attack strategy.
Taylor Lorenz, a journalist, is arguing for a ministry of truth.
Exactly what the media does to people like me. That's what she does to people like me. Institutions are often treat reputational harm and online attacks as a personal matter, one that unlucky employees should simply endure quietly. He said he was frustrated by. So then they start to quote some guy who's supposed to be a disinformation guy from a university. He's just an idiot. He said that he was frustrated by the Biden administration's lack of a loud and vocal response to what Jankowicz was going through. What in the fuck? Are we going to have drum circles and saying it's amateur hour is cliche, but it's amateur hour, he said of the administration's inaction. Now, isn't this Taylor Lorenz and the Washington Post now harassing and trying to discredit the Biden administration's? Right? How many followers does the Washington Post have? And you're just going to insult and harass these people like this in your newspaper? That's what you're harassing the people. You're saying they're amateur hour over at the Biden administration. Now everybody's going to hate them. That's not okay, according to Taylor Lorenz on the Washington Post. Isn't she doing the exact thing? Of course they are.
Wouldn't they maybe just think she's going through the thing that they all have to go through to be in
public life?
She go through a tenth of anything Biden went through, deserved or not. like why would he even register? All I
tried to do was get Congress people to take a vote on Medicare for all in the middle of a pandemic, and people doxed my house. That's what I was trying to do. This woman in the government is trying to censor people, and she's got power. I had no power. I have no power.
Why is it amateur hour? She's an expert on amateur hour. This is like amateur hour Broadway, amateur hour disinformation.
Yes. Why are they? Isn't hiring Nina Jankowicz amateur hour?
Exactly.
That's the amateur hour.
Yes,
exactly.
And so now here's what Taylor Lorenz and a lot of maniacs who are sympathetic to people like Taylor Lorenz, what they do. They pretend like random comments on social media amount to something. They don't. They're just random comments on Twitter or wherever. And watch, this is how they do it. In response to one post on Gab featuring a video of Tucker Carlson discussing Jankowicz, users commented, "Time to kill them all." Users! Who? We don't know. It could have been Taylor Lorenz under a fake name. We don't know who did this. Just users. So a rando on Gab said something crazy, and that makes the Washington Post. Here's another one. Another post featuring Carlson's coverage of Jankowicz was shared to a right-wing forum with the caption, "This is the point where we have to draw the line." That sounds reasonable to me, by the way.
That's even worse than killing. Drawing.
You're going to draw a line? No line drawing. That is violence.
This little toilet's been flushing for 3 hours straight. It's no biggie, though. I'm a member of American Home Shield. They've been handling situations like this for 50 years.
And here, by the way, Jamil Jafer tweeted out, the Washington Post piece should have acknowledged somewhere, perhaps even at the top, that some of the criticism of the Biden administration's Disinformation Governance Board came from civil liberties and human rights group. Yeah, maybe at the top.
You said the far right.
And here's what and then he links to this. He goes, here's the letter that the Protect Democracy at EFF and Night Columbia sent earlier this month, and there it is. So those are far left. That's far left. or
Well,
left.
It's actually, I would say mainstream. These are very pedigreed institutions.
Okay, there you go. Corrected. I stand corrected. So these aren't
just
fringe.
harassed you.
So the point is, these aren't. What's that?
I just bullied you.
I said you harassed Jimmy. You harassed him.
Yeah, I mean, and this show has to have a response to when Max does that. I mean,
This is amateur hour, Jimmy.
but then this guy, what is this? Who's this guy? Oh, and then anyway. So this guy says, there were plenty of good reasons to criticize the DHS initiative, but I think the Biden administration just ignored those thoughtful criticisms. It seems the bad faith conservative campaign against the disinfo board is the story because that's what actually mattered. What?
One, who cares? Two,
first of all,
how is it bad faith with it? Is he implying
I guess
want censorship czar to be?
So apparently they ignored thoughtful criticisms. So if they came from the left, they're thoughtful criticisms, but if they came from the right, they're bad faith. Even though they both were saying the same thing, that this is a bad idea. But it's bad faith when someone I don't like says it.
Right.
Isn't that mental?
Yes.
Well, I think what the right was saying, which the thoughtful critics that this guy is pointing out, what the right was saying, which was actually more valuable and more salient in my view, was that Nina Jankowicz is a prolific disseminator of disinformation.
Yes.
She has
Looks like he's
lied
holding
about
it a hit.
major political events again and again, and we can't make this point enough. And that was really at the heart of the critique I saw on both the right and the left. It wasn't within the critique of these civil liberties groups, which were just concerned about what it means for a national security or law enforcement organization to police speech, which is also valid.
Again, I'll just requote the guy earlier in this segment. This is the most slobbering defense of power. That is just disgusting. That if you could read that article and not have your stomach churn or your hair stand on fire or something, that is in the Washington Post. I mean, it's just shocking. That's something that shouldn't be in Glamour magazine. That
Rap
fucking
and Dom
article
have the same
defending.
dog.
Well, it's obvious that she has some relationship with her. Like that they're friends or associates or something. It feels that way, like she's just speaking on her behalf.
Well, Nino wrote How to Be a Woman Online, which I'm sure went big in circles of people who are obnoxious online, such as your Taylor Lorenz. I'm sure that's like a, Oprah Book Club thing for them.
And she said that these I don't have this slide in there from the article, but she said in the article that they often pick most often pick a woman or a person of color to go after, right? These conspiracies online. Do you know over half the population is women? What the fuck? So just like most of the time or half the time? Yeah, half the population is women. You're a woman, you're in power, you're writing. She's a woman, she's in power. Who do you want to... Hey, where are the guys over at DHS? It's just, anyway, I can't get over it.
One of the reasons they pick a woman is because they're like, now you can't say anything about it because a woman, like...
Well, that's what they do. That is exactly what they're doing.
That's funny.
All right, so let's move on. Anything you want to say before we wrap this up, Max?
It's a woman. I love
Yeah,
it.
well, she's gone after us at the Gray Zone. And so the article by Taylor Lorenz starts off by saying, now Jankowicz finds herself the target of the very people she has spent her career taking down. And it's like, yeah, you irony, you fucking lying ass charlatan. You accused us of being a Russian disinformation operation in public with no evidence at all. How dare you? Like, of course we're gonna go after you and challenge you. When you are given police powers to censor us, we are gonna be very upset. You called us destructive disinformation, which is kind of a compliment because I'm happy to be destructive to your authoritarian censorship agenda.
Well said.
But she openly stated that she wished to censor us. So of course we're going to be upset. And why does she want to censor us? Because as I mentioned before, she is involved with regime change U.S. government cutouts in Eastern Europe that have tried to topple any government that the U.S. doesn't want in power. She doesn't believe in democracy. So of course we're going to be upset. And I wasn't doing this because I wasn't criticizing her because she's a woman. I never said anything about her until she started smearing us, libeling us, and spreading disinformation about the site that I founded and that I run.
Oh, but if a man did it, you'd like it.
I would have felt much more like, liberated to go after them. I guess.
More easily, yeah.
Well, that's who these people are. This is the world we're living in, and they want everybody to think that people in the Democratic administration are good people, and everybody in any other political party are bad people. That's what this.
Exactly. Well said, Jimmy Dore. That was a good upload. It was exactly what I wanted to hear while I'm celebrating the demise of that agency. I'm glad that it is no longer a thing. It shouldn't be a thing. It's a bad thing. And it needs to be dissolved and go away. And that lady, she needs to, Taylor Lorenz needs to be fired. And that other woman needs to not be hired by anyone ever again. And she needs to just fade into obscurity because she's an evil witch. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed the hour and enjoy your afternoons. I will see you guys later in the next upload. All right, guys. Take care. Love you. Bye.